comedian, and this story is called A Gig. It's Volunteer Appreciation Night at the Thorncliffe Community Centre. I park amongst the practical sedans. Mental note, sedans, no trucks, keep the language clean. Inside, the smell of buffet roast beef mingles with years of athletic aroma. The gig is in the gymnasium. Individual desserts are laid out on the folding tables, cheesecake with a graham wafer crust and canned cherry toppings spooned on top. It looks as appetizing as a lost sandal. Comedy has ruined me for buffets. I note the sea of white hair. I note the ceiling. Low ceilings are good for comedy. The gym is 30 feet high. I ask for the contact lady. A woman with a cane takes me to the table where I meet the contact's daughter, Cynthia. Everyone just started dinner. I am interrupting. I've arrived 30 minutes prior to showtime as planned, but I apologize. Cynthia tells me there are couches in the lobby. I've been dismissed. I go sit on a couch like a kid in timeout, secretly relieved. Before I can load Candy Crush onto my phone, the contact Barb comes out and invites me in. Being polite, I thank her and take a seat. I'm beside Cynthia, the dismisser. Perfect. She doesn't acknowledge my presence. Barb introduces me to her friends. They will all be dead soon. Some say hello. One of them smiles. All of them continue chewing while eyeing me the same way bovine regard intruders. Barb assures me they're running on time. They're not. The MC appears. He is a spry 65. His suit is a shade of regurgitation, yet he clearly feels like a cock in a henhouse. Oh, you're the comedian. What did the cannibal say after he ate a clown? I answer, that tastes funny. I ruin his joke, but I maintain my self-respect. He and Barb head to the stage for their presentations. The MC takes the podium. It's on the floor in front of a stage for the band that hasn't arrived. The tables are in a U shape, so people can dance. The U shape is also the abyss into which jokes plummet. I'm about to try to connect with a mixture of deaf seniors and people who speak English as a second language, and between us is a 20 by 30 foot joke moat. There are no lights on the podium. The ceiling lights have been dimmed. Everyone is swimming in a dusky, vague cloud. The MC has been waiting for tonight. There's no spotlight, but he feels one. He tells a painfully long joke. I know he has practiced this in front of his long-suffering wife for weeks. Despite his passion and actually decent stage presence, the cordless mic distorts and muffles his words. When he says something with emphasis, pauses, and takes a step back from the podium, the audience intuits that they should applaud, despite not having heard a word he said. He basks. They honor the volunteers. People stand to be recognized. I applaud and smile as if I fit in. I note who's popular with the crowd, who is the joker, who is shy, who is the martyr. I make mental notes of their names in case I need to use it in my crowd work. The show's start time was 12 minutes ago. The MC asks people to remember the volunteers who couldn't make it to the event. They are homebound, disabled, and or without wheels. I know what's coming. Please, God, no. We're going to honor the dead. We're going to honor the dead, and then he's going to introduce me. I text my comedian friend Corey Mack at another gig to let her know that death is opening for me. She LOLs, and I feel her empathy. They take a break. God listened. I ask Barb if there's another mic, as the cordless is very muffled. She shrugs, and her eyes say, the crowd's been fed. I've said my speech. My work here is done. I have checked out, comedian lady. Why are you still talking to me? I suggest maybe the band has a mic. She nods vaguely and says to ask. She walks away to receive her buffet and public speaking accolades from her friends. I see a man go on stage, looks like a band member. He will be my savior. I walk over with fake confidence like I'm not about to die publicly. and introduce myself cheerily. I ask him if he might have a mic I could use, to which he replies with sincere incredulity, "What kind of comedian doesn't travel with their own mic?" Despite the sting of his stabby words, I chuckle and say good-naturedly, "Well, almost all of us, actually." I can't afford to alienate this man. He's the only chance I have left, the chance that someone out there can hear my words. He opens his microphone case as if it contains a fertilized Fabergé egg. He begins his microphone care dissertation. I tune out and wonder if I resemble Chris Rock. Yes, I must look as if I'm going to get all ragey with my disabled audience, then drop the mic, cueing their thunderous applause, or at the very least, the cacophonous roar of 150 canes tapping a gymnasium floor. Once hooked up, he asks me to test the mic. Check, check. Keep going, he says. Check, check. 1, 2. People crane their necks to see the woman yelling for her dinner bill. Mic check done, Barb wanders by. Before I can ask her to introduce me, she turns to walk away, vaguely waves and says, "Go ahead and start." The mic guy has vanished. I need an intro. Do I find the MC? No, he will do a 20-minute spot. Transforming from the mic check gal to the performer is a psychological trick most minds won't accept. But I do it. Deep breath. "Hey everybody, I'm Lori." They stare. While still editing, no, slashing the content from my material, I try to ingratiate myself by remembering people's names, by thanking the ladies in the kitchen, by thanking them for the delicious roast beef and not calling it flappy gray thing, by pointing out the charm and hilarity of the MC. There's one table of 40-something couples laughing. I am the castaway, and they are my Wilson. I banter with them while the white-haired crochet guild judges me stage left. I try to connect Wilson with the jury with the ESL tables. I look to the bartender and a couple of young guys. I verbally use them as tiny ledges as I scale this climbing wall. Though I will inevitably slip and plummet due to my figurative and very literal perspiration, I shall not go down without a fight. I have to do 30 minutes. During the sadness, I look at my watch. I think I'm at about 18 minutes. I'm at 7. I plow through. The ideal exit would be a trap door. I would happily emulate Andy Dufresne and crawl through 3 football fields of shit to not have to look in anyone's face right now. But I exit the stage confidently, smiling at the smiles, not caring if they're genuine or sympathetic. I grab my purse, say thank you to the polite ones, and act as if I'm going to the ladies' room, even giving a be right back gesture. Covered in shit, I stride out into the fresh air, just barely stopping myself from the Andy Dufresne victory pose. I start my car. I've never loved my car more. Nay, my sweet familiar haven. I light a cigarette and roll down the window. I take a long drag as I exhale and I hit play. Rage Against the Machine. Killing in the name. It is my silkwood shower, cleansing the gig excrement from my every pore. At a stoplight, a man looks over to see a middle-aged woman smoking, smiling, and belting out, "Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me." Ironic, really. I did exactly what they told me. But my comedy soul is like a liver. It regenerates. And I'll need it. Corporate season is just around the corner.